time of the year where the seasons are changing and things are looking beautiful, and you want to take that Asian significant other on a trip, maybe to go camping, and you wonder why they're not excited. I know a lot of white people, they love camping. My wife loves camping. And so she was sort of surprised after she got, sleeping bag, one of these tents. We've got 2 of these tents for a wedding present, and we even have a propane tank. Why I wasn't excited to go camping with her. One of the tents that we got for our wedding, I just opened it this year, and we've been married for 6 years. And I didn't even go camping with her. I went with the Boy Scouts because that's something I had to do. So why is it that Asians hate camping? Now, I'm not saying that all Asians do. If you're adopted, maybe you like camping. Maybe if you are 3rd or 4th generation Asian, you might like camping. But in general, most Asians don't like camping. One of the major reasons that Asians don't like camping is that Asians love their designer clothes. I'm serious. I went hiking with this Korean girl, and she wore her high heels to go hiking with me. They just love to look nice. They like to wear their nice clothes. They like to have all the gel in their hair. And they like to look and wear their really nice clothes. Which means that they don't like to dress down. They sure as heck don't want their clothes to get dirty and dingy out there. Another reason is that Asians in general are urban people. Pretty much all Asians decided to all live in cities, big cities. When you think about all of the Asian Americans that live in the United States, where do they live? They live in major metropolitan areas like Los Angeles, New York City, like in Houston, Texas, San Francisco. These are major Asian areas because they have major metropolitan things. Asians are urban people. Even if you go to, say, like Taiwan or Japan, the places where the most Asians live are right in the middle of the city. So Asians just love cities. One of the other things, and I already mentioned it before, Asians hate dust and dirt. Seriously, have you ever been to an Asian person's house? Have you noticed that they take off their shoes to make sure you don't track in dirt into their house? And in some Asian homes, like in Taiwan, they actually have another pair of slippers, clean slippers, that you can walk on inside the house. So you don't track in any dirt in the house, and you don't get any dust on your feet that happens to be on the ground inside your house. Some Asians take 2 showers a day. They just love being clean. Asians don't like dust. They don't like dirt. Okay, here's a big one. And it's pretty obvious. But Asians, they love their technology. If things don't have electricity around them, they get really upset. If there's no Wi-Fi, if there's no internet, if there's nothing to plug in their computer games, how are they going to update their friends on Twitter? How are they going to play their StarCraft? How are they going to do anything? Asians love the computer. I'm making a video on YouTube. Seriously, look at YouTube. How many of those people are Asian that write or make videos for YouTube? Asians just love the computer, and when the computer isn't there, they get a little bit antsy. They don't like it. So the number one reason, and this is something that is pretty understandable, is that most Asians don't have any good memories associated with camping. I know a lot of people, especially my wife, when she told me about how much she likes camping, she would talk about how she went out with her dad when she was young, and her whole family, when they would all get into the van, and they drive somewhere, and they have this fun time around the campfire. My experiences when I was young involved studying, playing the piano, playing the violin, maybe some photography, and studying some more. And then TV, of course, and video games. That's how I was brought up. A lot of Asians just love video games, and that's how they were brought up. The first time I went camping, I was 14 years old. It was required by the school, and I went out and I had a 50-pound backpack on. I was tired, I was feeling sick, and I was out there for a week, and that was my first experience with camping. Not a pleasant one. There wasn't any marshmallows. I wasn't sitting around a campfire. That was my first experience with camping. A lot of Asians, they don't have a lot of fond childhood memories associated with camping, and that's probably why they just don't like it. So this is a tip for you guys about Asian women. Now this is a trick, and I know some of you guys have already figured this out, but really, one thing about camping and why Asian women don't like it is Asian women don't like to exercise. Have you ever gone to the gym and checked out how Asian women exercise? Like lift a couple of 2-pound, weights, and that's pretty much it. And they do it for about half an hour. They somehow exercise, but they have all their makeup on, and they don't sweat hardly at all, and they look almost as good going out as they did coming in. Asian women don't like to exercise. If you're this guy and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to take my girlfriend out who's Asian on this beautiful hike way up on top of a mountain, and it'll take 2 hours, and you think it'll be good fun, yeah, you're probably going to break up. So Asian women don't like exercise. Not for a long time, at least. And nothing that involves them sweating too much and get their hair and makeup nasty. None of that. If you want to take them out into a forest, I would suggest starting out with a cabin. And not like a cabin that's way out in the middle of the wilderness. More like a cabin that sort of looks like a cabin but is really sort of like a hotel type of a thing with television and all the amenities inside it. That might be a good first step towards camping if you're going to take your Asian friend out camping. If you have any other opinions about this, please let me know. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.